Is it morning? It's still morning. Good morning, everyone. I am back with another episode of Cooking with Love. I wasn't on last week. Last week was like super busy, crazy. So today I don't have a full meal. I'm just doing some guacamole. I just came back from the gym. So this is my post-workout. Hello, welcome. Little snack. And I'm going to try my hardest to film my shrimp and grits tonight. Even if I don't upload on Periscope, it will be on YouTube. So be looking out for that. Monique Gigi on YouTube. Oh my goodness, hello, welcome. Yes, guac is my favorite. Now, I will say I don't have everything I normally use to make it, but I have mostly everything. I'm missing one ingredient, so it's all right. We can spice it. I'm missing jalapenos. We can spice it up another way. There's always, if there's a will, there's a way. And that's what people say. But yeah, anyway, so I was about to make it, and I was like, let me record, duh. So I took the initiative already, of course, since I was already doing it, to cut up my avocados. Hello, welcome. Thank you, I appreciate it. And so I normally cut my avocados around the perimeter of it, pull it in half, and then I slice through. You got to be gentle because I have seen where people have like accidentally cut themselves. I normally start from top to bottom, cutting like this, and then go across, and then drop it in the bowl. So if you want to know, that's how I got this. I will come back another time and maybe I'll do like shrimp tacos soon. Hello, welcome. And that'll be something fun to do. So we have our avocados here. This is 2 of them. And next I'm going to cut up, I always use cherry tomatoes because I just think they have more flavor. And to me, cherry tomatoes taste better than regular sized tomatoes. I don't know what they're doing to the food now. Of course, we all know about the GMO stuff. But yeah, regular tomatoes to me just don't taste the same. And I prefer vine ripened, the little circular ones versus these, but this is what I have. So this is what we're going to use. So I'm going to take these, and actually I'm going to turn the camera this way so you all can see a little bit better. You won't be able to see me as well, but that's okay. So I'm going to take my tomatoes, and I'm going, I got cilantro all over there. So take my tomatoes. Oh, so let me give you all the ingredients. So avocado, I use red onion, cilantro, tomatoes, and lime. And of course the avocados. And I use the seasoning pack. And now I will say I like this one, but I sometimes kind of prefer the McCormick one. Let me get down so y'all can see me. This is by McCormick too, but they have another one that to me has a little bit more of a kick to it. So it's all about preference. And of course you don't have to use that at all. I know some people, like a lady used to work with who's actually Mexican, and she just used salt and pepper and jalapeno and lime, and it was amazing. So do what you feel, you know. So I cut my tomatoes in half long ways. I'm going to cut them again long ways. And so then I'm going to cut them up small. And set that there. We're going to start cutting the rest of those. But yeah, today I just wanted to come on real quick and give this little recipe because I did not come on last week. And I'm sorry for that. Things were a little busy and crazy. But as life is, you know, what they say, leaders must adjust. So had to make some adjustments, and we're back in action this week. So hopefully 9 times out of 10 I'll be able to record the shrimp and grits tonight. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on and talk about trust again. You know, I talked about that in one of my first videos, but it's hit home again, so why not bring it up? But trust in the Lord is so big in our processes in life. You know, a lot of times, and I'm speaking from a different perspective this time, of a lot of times you can know without a shadow of a doubt like something is going to happen, and God is going to bless you with that thing, whether it be like a home, a car, a job, whatever it is. But sometimes the waiting process, and one thing I talked about the other week was patience. Sometimes the waiting process can deter you and make you feel like, oh, well, God didn't say, you know, or maybe this or maybe that. And that's exactly where Satan wants us, is in a place of doubt and disbelief. And God's like, no, I said what I said. It's going to happen. You just have to trust me through your waiting process and have patience. And sometimes that can be like so difficult. Especially when, of course, Satan is, you know, trying to make us feel like, oh, it's not going to happen. He, you know, does things like, okay, let's say you're trying to buy a car. And let's say, then all of a sudden you get a notification your credit score is not what you thought it was. And Satan's like trying to use that to also not only to get you distracted, one, but two, to put you in a place of disbelief, and then three, so you'll confess out of your mouth that it isn't going to happen. And God's like, hold up. I said what I said. I meant what I said. You just have to trust me in this. And, you know, sometimes it can be difficult because those things are happening. And in that, we have to recognize what the enemy is trying to do and then reel ourselves in and, you know, also begin to, okay, God, what is it that you want me to learn from this moment right here? What is it that you want me to learn from this experience? And a lot of times it's just continue to trust him. Continue to pray. You know, a lot of times you're like, oh, okay, I prayed already. I'm good. And God's like, no, keep praying, keep pressing, and keep going forward. And, you know, it's so easy to give up. And that's what Satan wants us to do, is to give up. And God's like, no, keep going, keep praying, and keep pressing. And, you know, it can be difficult at times, but I'm telling you, and I heard the Lord say this to me today, is, you know, trust me in my process. And I'm not going to lead you anywhere that I haven't called for you to be. I'm not taking you somewhere that I'm not going to guide you the rest of the way. And that just brought such comfort to me. It's like, you know what? Duh, that's true, you know, but sometimes we need to be reminded. God's not going to lead us anywhere where he isn't going to protect us, where he isn't going to show us what to do or help us along the way, or either send someone else to, you know, help us, whatever it is. So I thank God for, you know, him speaking to me in that way and helping me to see, no, I got you. So next we're going to take our tomatoes that I just cut up. And again, those were, what kind of tomatoes are those? They're called, I don't know. They don't say. Oh, grape tomatoes. I used that. So that's what we used. And now I'm going to cut up my red onion. So I don't use a lot of this, just a little bit, because normally, you know, a little bit will suffice. So I just cut it like that. And of course you want to take off the skin. And if, you know, you don't like the taste of onion, or your stomach can't take it, by all means, do not use it. You know, like, it is per taste for everyone. I know a lot of people don't like onions. And so I'm cutting these slanted, if that makes sense. And I like to cut them up very small, because sometimes onions can be very pungent. And some people's stomachs are not forgiving of onions if they're not, you know, cooked or period. So, and I'm just slicing those up really small, like kind of as small as you can get them. Now I will say my knife skills, you know, I'm not cutting this how you should be cutting. It should be like this. And that's how a lot of the chefs do, and they do it real fast, but I'm not there. And I definitely do not want to cut myself, so we're going to take our time. That's no problem. And so I'm going to take those, and sometimes I go back through with the knife and just cut it up a little bit smaller. So I'm going to take those red onions and put those in there. But yeah, just going back on, we have to trust God's process. You know, it's not always going to look like what we want it to look like and feel like we want it to feel. Because a lot of times we go off of feelings. That's another thing. Thank you, Holy Spirit. A lot of times we go off of feelings, but I don't feel like it's going to work out. But God's like, I didn't say that it's not going to work out. So don't trust your feelings. Trust what I said. You know, and a lot of times it can be difficult because we like, oh my goodness. And you know, that woe is me mentality comes in, and it's like, God's like, no, you know, you just need to trust me, and, you know, and not feel bad about yourself. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to have a moment, but we cannot stay in that moment, and those moments have to be fleeting. One of my I call her my other mother, Miss Nicole. One of the things that she always told me, and that has stuck with me over the years, is you can have your moment, but do not stay in it. Your moment should be, okay, you cry your tears, you have a little temper tantrum, whatever it is. And then you have to come out of it, because God has more for you. And one of the things that's been sticking with me, like, over this, let's say, like, the past year, at least since January, is that even in those moments, they need to be as minute as possible. Because what are you missing from being in that temper tantrum or that moment, that you can be doing something else or encouraging someone else? It's something lately, like, when I've been, like, wanting to have these deep moments, it's something like somebody will need me. And it's like, you know what? I can't stay here. I need to be there for them. I need to push past this. And it's like, in that, God blesses me to give me the strength to keep going. Even though I'm helping them, it's further helping me to keep pursuing God, to keep, searching for his heart. And a lot of times as believers, we're like, oh, God, I want you. I love you. But do we really want what's in his heart, or do we want what's in his hand? And yeah, the blessings are in his hand, but to really know him is to love him. And to love him is to know him. And so we all have to be on a quest to searching for his love and the love that he has for us. And, God gave me this vision some time ago. And it was like the literal heart of a person, but God's heart. And in that, it was this like never ending journey. Like, God's love never ends for us. It is always increasing. It is always growing. It's never ending. It's unyielding. And to be in a place of, really acknowledging that and receiving that and understanding that. And it's always another level of learning his love, It never ends. And even when we go to glory and get to heaven, like, it still continues on. And I think that's like such an amazing thing about God, is like, he's always doing something more. It's always more for us. And I think that's even further evidence of his love. And it should help us and encourage us to keep pressing no matter what it looks like. And I'm not just talking to you all. I'm speaking encouragement to myself right now. And it's been something, because in recent times, like, I wanted to call people and God's like, no, I didn't tell you to call them. Talk to me first. And I'm like, okay, but... And, I think about David in the Bible. It says David had to encourage himself in the Lord. And it's like, sometimes literally you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes there won't be someone to talk to. Sometimes you won't be able to see something on social media to encourage you. And that's okay. Get in your word. First and foremost, talk to God and allow him to bring you on the journey and draw you closer into him. Which is thus the most important thing, is our relationship with Christ, so... He's so awesome. So next we're going to cut up our cilantro. I think I might have got a little bit too much. I'm going to put some of that to the side because I don't want it to be overwhelming. So I normally take it and like put it like this. So you guys can see. And so then I cut long ways like that. Cut it up. And then I sometimes take it and turn it back around. Hopefully you guys can see clearly. And then just make sure it's cut up pretty small. And I'm going to put that in there. And you know what? I am going to put a little bit more. I do like the taste of cilantro a whole lot. But I just pray, that all of us on this journey in life really begin to yield ourselves to the Lord. I know it is not easy. It can be tough. But just understand, it's not easy and it's tough because Satan wants to hinder you from everything that God has for you. God has a perfect will for us. And Satan wants to stop us from receiving that, from going into that. I'm just going to use all of this. And so, yeah, he's going to fight you tooth and nail, and especially when you're called, you're chosen to help so many other people. He's going to do everything in his power to keep you bound and selfish and self-centered, or whatever it is that you may be struggling with, whether it be finances. God may be calling you to help bring others out of debt, but because you keep selfishly spending or whatever the case is, he can't help you to do that. And so, I just know God has more in store for us. And we never, I don't want to say this. We never come to a place of like, oh, I got this. I'm great in life. There's always room to grow. And I think that's what's so amazing about God is that there's always room for transformation. There's always room for his love to increase in our lives. And I mean, it's an amazing thing about God, you know. He's just awesome, you know. It's super awesome. And so I'm going to cut up a little bit more red onion. I'm kind of looking at it like, I could use a little bit more. So just a little bit. And next I'm going to put my seasoning packet in. This is the one I'm using. I'm just going to pour that in there. Like such. And I'm going to use a fork actually to mash this up. I do sometimes, I'll grab it out so you guys can see it. Because I have one of these, you know, like traditionally used to mash up guacamole. And like I have the bowl. But to me, I always make quite a bit. So, and it's small. I probably need to get a larger one. But I'm not tripping. The bowl works just as fine as the hard one. And if you want it, I got that from the set from, was it TJ Maxx or Marshall's? One of those. So you can get that from there. And so I'm just cutting my lime, Jesus. Lime in half. And then I'm putting slits in it because it has been in the refrigerator for like a week. And it was a little hard. And so I'm like cutting slits in it. Long ways, sideways, you know, whatever. Oh, another thing I did want to tell you guys. So if you watch my video on, I did on the curry chickpeas, I end up using the extra sauce I had left over. I had like cilantro onion in my arm. I end up using the leftover to make, and it was my first time doing this, so I didn't film it because I was like, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I bought, what kind of fish was that? Oh gosh, it wasn't flounder, it was cod. So I bought cod and I like made my sauce up. I put some lime and cilantro in it and then put my fish in it, and it was so good. I think I had it over rice and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm definitely gonna have to film this. So stay tuned. But if you did cook the curry and you had sauce left over, put some cook your fish, put that in there after you make up your sauce to taste how you want. But that lime juice, oh my gosh, and cilantro in it, like really made it pop. So I'm just gonna squeeze my lime in here. I like to do this before I stir it up because if you have some harder pieces from the avocados just being, not as ripe, to me it makes it easier to soften up. But yeah, I just pray that all of us just come to a place of like really trusting God, no matter how it looks, no matter what Satan is trying to do to distract you, to deter you. I'm actually going to show this a little closer. So I'm doing like this, and like that, and like that. Be careful. Please don't cut yourself. And if you have to do it down, that's fine. But I was just bringing it up so I can show you. Oh, and sometimes I will say I use the lime juice from like the little, the little plastic containers. And I'll do that if like limes are just ridiculously expensive at the time. But it is always best, if you can, to get fresh limes. Because when I tell you the taste is like magnificent, it makes such a difference. And I'm not just saying that, like, I love food. Obviously, you all can probably tell, but like it really does make a difference. So again, I'm just using my fork and I'm gonna mash this up, and it's like a pretty much a larger size fork. You guys want to know something odd about me? I don't like eating from big forks. I don't know why, but I prefer to eat with smaller forks. Not like a baby fork, but like, to me, this is just too big. I don't know. Oh, there are. I didn't know that. See, that's probably another reason why I don't like it as much. But yeah, so I'm just smashing this up. And by all means, if you feel like you need a little bit more heat or flavor to it. Of course, I'm going to taste test in a second after I'm done. But I like my guacamole a little spicy. That's what I said. Normally, I put, what's the name of that? What did I say earlier? Jalapenos in it. And it's like bomb that way. So, but I like a little kick. But my little one doesn't. So I normally put mine to the side, put that in there, and, you know, have the rest for her. But yeah, you know, like I said, I just pray for all of us to just trust God through our processes. It is, like I said, it is not easy. No one said it was going to be. But I am of the belief that everything that, you know, we step forth and, you know, go forth in trusting God with our whole hearts. And you know what I read, I think it was in John or Mark. Uh-oh, look at me. Look what I did, y'all. I left a piece of the avocado in there, the skin. It happens, it's okay. And in the Bible where the father's daughter, he thought she was dead, and Jesus was telling him, like, no, believe that she's healed. I'm paraphrasing, like, really bad. But anyway, the man then says, like, before Jesus told him to go back, he's like, I think Jesus had told him, like, will you believe? And then the man's like, yeah, I believe, but Lord, help my unbelief. And that was, like, so powerful to me. Like, that's something I've been, like, saying to myself lately. You know, like, yeah, God, I trust you, but help the parts of me that don't want to trust you or that don't believe what you said is going to come to pass. Because, you know, that's this fleshly stuff. Our flesh that wants, you know, and of course Satan, who wants us to believe that things aren't going to happen as God says they are. And you know what? Let me give this encouragement too real quick. And then I'm going to end this because it's getting a little lengthy. We have to be careful what we speak over situations that is against what God has said about them. If you look in the Bible and how, I think it was Abraham who tried to speak against, Sarah was going to have a baby. And didn't the Lord, like, shut his mouth? I know it was a couple people in the Bible, God, like, shut their mouths so they couldn't speak. And you got to remember, like, when you're called, when you're chosen, period, you have to be careful of the words that you speak out of your mouth, because you just never know how what you're speaking, even though it's your unbelief, can come against what God is trying to do. And sometimes it's just best to shut up. You know, if you got to write it down to the Lord, that's, you know, I really wouldn't if it's against what he's saying. But, you know, just talk to the Lord in private. You know, don't say out of your mouth, oh, that's not going to happen. Because guess what? You're speaking that thing is not going to happen. And guess what? We all have free choice and free will. And God's like, okay, I have to take my hands off because you're saying something that is against what I've said. And so I just encourage you, if you're not sure, if you're doubting, if you're whatever, ask the Lord, Lord, help my unbelief. 1, 2, Lord, I believe what you said no matter what it looks like. If that's what you have to say every day out of your mouth, then so be it. Lord, I believe what you said no matter what it looks like. I trust you through this process no matter what it looks like. No matter what Satan is throwing at me, I trust you, God. You know, speak positively. And if negative thoughts keep coming, cast them down. You know, you have to gird yourself up and allow the Lord to help you, you know, no matter what it looks like. I have been through some situations recently, like, I've literally sat there like, okay, God, you know, crying, and Lord, I just trust you. And I just refuse to speak out of my mouth, you know, the negative over those situations, because that's not what God said. God said he was going to do it, so he's going to do it. It doesn't matter if it's today, tomorrow, 10 years from now. God forbid 10 years now. But, you know, regardless, I'm going to trust him through this. And so I just encourage you all to trust him. Don't speak the negative out of your mouth. Allow yourself to be encouraged. And when you have no one to talk to, that is God's design, because he wants to talk to you. 1, 2, and you need to get in your word. And I'm not just saying this to you all. I'm saying this for me too, and from my experiences. I'm just like, I have to read. You know, it's something that is become definitely apparent in my life, and it has been so encouraging. It has been such a blessing, and I pray, you know, that you all everyone watching this who will watch this, that we all really allow God to truly come into our hearts in ways that he's never been before, and that he helps us to grow and learn, and that we stay open to him. You know, so many times things can happen and we become closed off. Oh, I'm not doing that. And God's like, what? You just go tell me what you're not going to do anymore? Like, what is this? How does that work? You know? And so, do you know a way I can better read and understand the Bible? I'm trying to find a better way. You know what? There are two things. So there was a pastor who told me, he was ministering. He was like, don't worry about fully understanding it when you first read it. Just read. And I was like, oh, you know, because so many times in the past I would read like, oh, I don't really understand this. And so I would give up and I would stop. And so I just began to read just to read. Like, just read it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense fully or not right now. God will bring revelation. And one thing too is I'll pray for revelation. God, reveal, you know, what you want me to learn from this. You know, show me, you know, give me the revelation that you want me to have. And then also changing translations. I started reading the complete Jewish Bible. If you use the Bible app, the brown one, I'm trying to understand what I'm reading. The complete CJB version is really good. I like the way that it breaks it down. Now, it does give some Hebraic terms in it. But if you don't know what those mean, which a lot of them I just go back to King James Version, find out what that word meant, and then go back to, and I like the way that it breaks it down. Hey, sometimes reading a children's Bible, that helps. I have friends who do that, and sometimes with my daughter, I read her children's Bible with her, just because you just need the word in you. It doesn't matter if you fully understand it immediately or not. Just read it. And just try different translations. God will bring revelation. Just continue to seek his heart and ask him, Lord, please bring revelation to me while I'm reading this. Help me to understand. And he will. And a lot of times just sitting down and actually dedicating time to study is helpful. Whether it be, you know, you just meditating on that scripture. It may be one scripture you have the entire week. Lord, reveal what you want me to know for this scripture. And God will do that. That's been helpful to me as well. And also, I like to play the Bible app. And sometimes I'll read along with it while it's playing. But one thing that I do 9 times out of 10, almost every single night, if I don't have worship music on, I have my Bible app playing. And that's all through the night while I sleep. And just because to me, in my opinion, it helps saturate the atmosphere. His word is being spoken over you. And I believe my spirit is still receiving. So, you know, I just pray that this blesses someone today. I pray that, you know, if you this is the guacamole, that you like the guacamole, however you made it. You know, of course, according to taste, I'm probably going to sprinkle a little bit of cayenne pepper in this just to spice it up a little bit. And these are the chips I have. I don't have much today, but I use On the Border chips. But my favorite is the Tostinos, the little thin, crispy ones they have out now. They're really good. But yeah, I pray, this is a little lengthy for guacamole. But, you know, when God wants to speak to us, hey, we have to be all ears and open to listen. So I pray this blesses everyone who saw it, will see it. If you felt like it blessed you or blessed someone else, please share it. Cantina chips, yes, those are the ones. But yeah, you know, let's go forth and enjoy today and be an encouragement to someone else, you know, a blessing to them. God bless you all. And let's just go forth and enjoy. Love you guys. Have a terrific and excellent Friday and weekend. And like I said, I will try my best to record the shrimp and grits this evening. And so, yeah. God bless you all. Bye.